This is the Carty Method Podcast.
Hey, are you ready for your favorite show of the week? It is me, I am Carty. Today we are talking real photo reviews. We do real photo reviews every Tuesday and Thursday. Tuesday, I look at your portfolio images. And hey, it's Tuesday, so today we are looking at your portfolio images. Thursday, I look at your assignments. And last week, I gave you the assignment of shooting a self-portrait, a new self-portrait of yourself. It's 2025. It's time for you to update your social images, update your personal look a little bit. So I asked you to do that as well. And we are going to see them on Thursday. Today is simple. I want to see pictures that you're considering for your portfolio. It might be something that you shot recently. It might be something that you're not sure of. You might be on the fence about a picture. And now you want me to help you decide. Look at the temperature. Look at the temperature here. Yes, that is -7. Is that a hair on me? A thread? Yeah, it's -7. Crazy. Oh, there it went. It just fell. I'm very aware of this kind of stuff. I have a dog, so, you know. It's funny, I have a black dog, but he's getting old, so that was a gray dog hair. All right, let's get into your favorite show of the week. This one is called Real Photo Reviews. All right, let's get into it. It starts with the one they call Dana McKenzie. Dana says, "Hey Carty, my photo consideration for this week is from a session I shot last week in my living room with my friend / barber, Ethan. Your feedback is always appreciated. Shot with a Nikon 810 with a 50mm lens at f8 with one strobe and a silver reflector." This is Dana McKenzie. Dana! All right, my guy. I like this. This is a vibe. You definitely have let me just talk about the things that are working. First of all, exposure. Exposure is, for me, your exposure is spot on. Your exposure is a check. So exposure is spot on. Your focus is definitely spot on. One thing I'm watching is color balance, or we'll call this white balance. It's a little blue. It feels a little blue if you look in here in the whites. And again, know that I'm a bit of a savant when it comes to this kind of stuff. But I want you to notice right here. What am I doing? This. There it is. If you look up here in the blues, you're going to see, or in the whites, you're going to see that this is a little cold in here. And in here, you'll seeing that that's more blue than it is white. And even over here in the whitest, it's still actually kind of blue. So it's slight, but there is just an overall cool tone to this. Your lighting is good. I want you to notice, obviously, because you're using a hat that has a brim, the angle of the light, which would usually be much higher, which is going to drop the nose shadow a little bit lower and join this. You've brought that light around a little bit more. You can see it here, the placement, in order for you to get under this rim. I mean, for me, I just try not to shoot people in baseball caps. It's just it takes you away from a portrait. It's baseball caps, and again, they're just bad for lighting. But again, so many dudes that still rock the baseball cap every day, that's their look. So again, for those people, sometimes you have to adjust your lighting. This is a good one for me, man. I'm gonna give you the love, Dana. This is an 11 for me. A very good effort. I'm gonna watch your shadow detail back here. A reflector back here, giving you just a little bit of separation without actually lighting, but just kicking back just a little bit of this light over here to just give me a little bit of his hair detail in here would definitely help me. But all in all, my guy, that's an 11 for me. You did well. You did well. Taylor's pleased. Taylor is pleased. Oh, look at me. I have, we're going to take this camera and move this, oops, that's not what we're moving. We're going to take this camera and move that camera over here. And then we're going to center it vertically. There we go. That's a bit better. All right, let's get into our next photographer. And our next photographer is Tia Dunlap. And Tia says, I took this picture last week during a birthday photo shoot. It was freezing and it started to rain during our session. I think she did a great job at battling the cold and not letting it show in her pictures. Show in your pictures, Tia Dunlap. They're your photos. R6 Sigma 50mm, 1/60th of a second at 6.3. Shot with a Westcott strobe, 400 watt seconds. This is Tia Dunlap. Tia. Okay. I mean, I appreciate the ideas. Like, you're always pushing ideas. This picture really, I feel like the upside down angle is what's really making it a little bit awkward. I think that she's sitting in the back of a car, but the way that you've shot it, it's hard to tell what she's actually sitting in because of the angle. I see, like, I just don't know what she's sitting in. And then, it's just the top down angle that you're doing. Like, the shape of this girl's face is way better served being over here. You know, like, for me, I feel like this photo's upside down. Like, I literally feel like this photo is upside down. And if I tell preview to rotate this, rotate left, and then rotate left again. Oops, where are we? This, and then tools, and then rotate left again. Like, tell me this isn't closer to being what the picture is. So for me, like, I'm just the upside down. Like, the first thing that I saw is like, this picture's upside down, and it's not working for me. This model of yours, the makeup is really extra, especially when you look in this close. The fake lashes, I don't know, I know you're just new to watching me, but these look like caterpillars on her eyes. It's never flattering with fake eyelashes. Like, maybe they look okay in person, but when you shoot them, this is what happens. Because we're shooting at such a high resolution, you actually see that this is fabric. Like, you actually see that, and you can see how non-lash that is. The angle of her face is making her eyes just slits. And then you also see this airbrushed on eyebrow, which, it's just bad makeup. It's makeup that your girlfriend does, but it's not makeup art. It's not makeup for a photo shoot. The next thing that I noticed right away, Tia, is this line across her forehead. I don't know if this is a skin condition or whatever, but there's a very hard line of like darker skin up here, which is very noticeable, and it's very noticeable when you go smaller. And again, I'm reviewing this photo this way because upside down, the way that it was originally, it's so off. And the way that this is cropped is just off. The car down here, the dirtiness I'm noticing. Like, there's just, for me, the light, yes. The flowers, okay. I don't understand why the flowers are there. Like, I don't know why the flowers. I don't get it. They're pretty. She's pretty. Let's put them together. It's like, there's no context for her having flowers. Like, I don't know if she's on a funeral, if she's like at a wedding, she's not wearing wedding stuff. Like, there's no reason for the flowers other than it's a prop. And for me, it's not the right prop. For me, this photo, Tia, is a bit of a miss. I'd love to see other ideas, but the top down angle, the makeup, it's just in the styling. For me, for you, in order to get you to the next level, you have to be shooting ridiculous people, like ridiculous. And this is no offense to your model, but for you as an editorial photographer, you have to be noticing all of these things, the lashes and all of that stuff. You have to be watching that as well. So, and the upside down picture, like for me, I'm going to go back to how this photo was originally, and it just feels off for me. It feels off. I'd be very interested in seeing a different edit from you for this one, Tia. But for me, there's too many small details. Not everybody who is that in front of your camera gets to be in your portfolio. Not everybody gets to be in your portfolio. You have to be like, and also, who's doing your makeup? Is it just the subjects? You're just letting them come with whatever makeup they think is good. And again, you're not here to please them. You're here to please yourself based on industry standards and what's happening out there. I'm trying to have you be looking at New York and LA and London and Toronto, like looking at what's happening on a global scale. So you're not shooting and making your stuff look like you're just a local photographer. Again, and I don't want you to take it as offense. This is all positive criticism. Your light is bang on, but I want you to be developing your ideas so your ideas work. And that comes from looking at the right references so you can line up your angles and stuff. For me, this is not the right angle. It's never flattering for someone to be upside down and looking at camera. It rarely works. I hope that helps you. I would love to see some more from this session. This is Tia Dunlop, guys. Tia. Our next shooter is Robert Myrick. Robert says, "Hey, Carty and crew. Over the last year or so, I fell into doing some work for a few beauty pageants. I wasn't really expecting a lot to come of it, but one pageant led to two, which led to some headshots and studio work. I tend to stay away from pageantry headshots because the majority of the parents and contestants all want it to look like plastic, and that's not my style. This image is from a studio session I did with the Miss Florida USA ambassador for 2024. Session was a mix of headshots and a birthday shoot for her. I always look forward to your insight. So Sony A7R5, Sony 50mm 1.8, ISO 100, 1/250th of a second at f8 with a Godox strobe. This is Robert Myrick. Robert. My goodness, Robert. For me, this is a no. Right off the bat, this is a no. It's a no. It's not flattering taking pictures of a girl who's overweight eating. It's just like, I have to be so straight to the point. It's never flattering shooting pictures of somebody who has a weight problem eating. And again, she's a pageant contestant. So because she's a pageant contestant, she must be like, double chin, hair's coming from her chin. Sadly, hair's coming from her chin. She's got big traps. She's a big girl. So, and then it's the center focus composition. So it's like, there's so many layers as to like why this photo isn't working. You can't shoot pictures of people eating, especially like this. It makes it look like she's gluttonous, and it's not cute. It's just not cute, Robert. For me, this is a no, my guy. Again, if you're asking me for my opinion, the light is clean. Yes, it's a studio photo for sure, but the composition and the idea, those two things, I'm just no. Please don't do this, and please don't put this in your book. It's just not flattering on her. The gloves don't fit her. It's just, there's so many layers as to like why this doesn't work. So this is a no for me, Mr. Myrick. Yeah, again, the eating is just, it's not cute. It's just not cute. It's messy. It's messy. The product is messy. Like, there's so much about like the whole adding the food thing that just wrecks it. It's not cute. I gotta say, it's just not cute, my guy. Oh, that helps you. That is Robert Myrick. Robert, my goodness. All right, on to Marco Nueves. Marco says, hey, Carty, I've been practicing with my new strobes, focusing on achieving consistency, smoothness in my portraits. Starting to get the hang of it. Shot with the Canon EOS R24-105. ISO 200, 1/200th of a second at 5.6. 2 Godox SK400 strobes, Octa, and a strip box. Always using lots of lights there, Marco. I'd love to see you craft something with less lights. One light. Let's see what Marco Nuevos is doing. This is Marco. Marco, thanks for submitting. So Marco, this is what I worry about, is you're using multiple lights. I only see 2 of them. You're using 3 lights, but I only see 2 of them. And also you're doing something in post that is making this picture look more like an illustration than a photo. So again, you're doing something in post that's just a little bit too much. I want you to come way back in what you're doing in post. His skin is it's unrealistically smoothed, if that makes any sense. It's unrealistically smoothed. I like this highlight that you have happening on this side of his face. Let's just see the whole pic. Oops. Sorry about that. Let's just see the whole picture again. There it is. So yeah, the styling, what he's wearing is definitely dope. Let's see this as a cover. Cover framing is good. Like your color composition, your idea, like those 2 things are there, but your light is too matchy, meaning the exposure that you have on this here is exactly the same as the exposure that you have on here. So you're not seeing this as a highlight. It's supposed to be a highlight. A highlight has to be plus. It needs to be brighter than the other light because it's at the same exposure. And then if you are using a strip light over here, also at the same exposure, there's no ratios. It's just all your lights are at 1:1. So nothing's brighter. So then although there is shape to this picture, it still feels flat. So that's what I like. Again, if you're lighting this scene and this is your wall and this is your subject and you have one light here, this light that's putting here, that becomes normal. That's your normal exposure. And then the light that you have back here that's putting here, this has to be plus 1/3 in exposure. And then the light that you have up here that's going on the hair, that also has to be plus 1/3 of normal. So these 2 lights in the rear actually are brighter than normal. So it actually feels like it's shaped. Right now you have this light at say normal, and then you have this at the same exposure, and then you have this at the same exposure. Therefore, it feels, although shaped, flat. I hope that helps you. This is Marco Nueves. And again, what you're doing in post is too much. You're using the clarity slider and the texture slider, and you're pulling them into the negative space, which makes your face, everything feel like plastically smooth, which isn't the trend for photography in 2025. So please go back to neutral with what you're doing in post, please. That is Marco Nueves. Marco. And again, the shot's in 11. The shot's in 11, but there's things that you're like, there's things that you're fucking up. So the lighting, I want to be making sure that you're not doing normal. And normal meaning if that's F8, you're doing F8 over there and F8 over there. It's like, no, that's normal. F8, there's 8 1/3 over there and 8 1/3 over there. All right, that is Marco Nueves. Marco. All right, guys, I'm looking to get blown away here. This is Matt Carlson. Matt says, this is a photo taken in a portable studio using a folding background. I also took the photo before your feedback of having more of my subjects look into camera. So I've not forgotten about it. I'm considering this for my portfolio. Grateful for your feedback. R6 100 millimeter 2.8. Love that lens. ISO 320, 100th of a second at f4. Shot with the Godox 200 Pro with a softbox and a grid. This is Mats Carlson. Mats, there's definitely something here. The color balance is way off, though. The color balance is off. It feels very green. If you just look back to this skin tone and look at your skin tone, you can see the green. I'm going to do it again. You'll see green, and you see it right away. Green on Caucasian skin is just like the absolute worst skin tone that you can do. Look at my skin tone and the color balance of this scene. And you'll see, I'll go full screen. You see this scene? It's very neutral. It's neutral, warm, right? It's the color balance. So, and then I want you to see your, and see how you see green first. And he's also wearing green, which makes the color balance even a little bit more. Also, I want you to notice with this particular sweatshirt, the moire effect that's happening down here. Do you see this moire effect? And watch when I enlarge this, how that goes away. You see here how, oops, sorry, you're not supposed to see that yet. How there's no, like now there's moire effect, but when I enlarge it, the moire effect goes away. Oops. You see there, the moire effect goes away. So looking at this picture at 100%, this is 100%. There's no moire effect. But just these lines, you can see it starts when I move the camera side to side. And that is just because there is a highlight and then a dark line, and then a highlight and a dark line, and a highlight and a dark line with the fabric. And when you're seeing this at full size, you can see how that actually does the moire effect. So I'm going to show you this as a cover. This is really spot on. And again, Mats, this is really spot on as far as idea. I don't mind him looking down, but your light placement is so, like, again, if this is your subject and your light placement is so much from the side, it's too much from the side. If you want this half face lighting, you don't light from here, you light from here, and you get the same half face. But what's happening is because you lit so much from the side, even this eyeball is actually shaded in here and lit on this side. Because this is the eyes are domes as well. So you can see what his eyeball looks like. You can see this shadow is actually from his eye there. So, and then this other eye, and this whole other side of his face is gone. And you get this other weird shadow that happens on the inside of his face on this side. So the lighting, it's radically from the side, like too radically from the side, and also starts to put in all of these unnecessary shadows like this one here. You can see you're getting weird shadows on his forehead and his skin. When you look at his skin at 100%, you can see all the flaws in his skin up here because it's literally, you're putting a stick in the sand and lighting it from the side, which is going to put a crazy shadow. So with your lighting placement, you have to be very, very hyper as far as where you're placing it. I want to just check your f-stop again. I think your f-stop's okay, but yeah, and exposure-wise, overall, the exposure could go plus, like I'll call it 20% or 0.2 of a stop. So compositionally, though, it's strong. It's a strong portrait. It's a strong idea, Mats. I like it. I'd like to see you fix the color balance. And repost it because I need you to see how off it is. Anyways, that is the mighty Mats Carlson. Well done, Mats. All right, let's see who's next. This is Jennifer Grace. Jennifer says, hey, Carty, thanks for your review. Not much to say, except it's almost midnight and I had to work through some stuff and make myself pick a shot to submit. So since I could easily talk myself out of every shot for one reason or another. I shot this specifically for this review, and although my intention was to practice with gels, I like it much better in black and white. EOS R, ISO 200, 100th of a second, f8, shot with a 200 and 600 watt second strobe. This is Jennifer Grace. Jennifer, this is a banger, Jennifer. This is a banger. There's something definitely here. You have to watch with the letting the models hide. She's how can I put it? Like her back is this way, right? But then you have her head craned around, so she's looking back at you that way. So the body language here is I'm not sure. Are you trying to show the tattoo? Is that the thing that you're trying to include in this picture? What I see first is she has no neck. Because you have her turning in so she has no neck. For me, it's I want to see a lady's neck longer, but you can't show that when she's wrenched around backwards that way. So for me, it's a little bit about the pose. Now I'm going to show you a way that I have in the past photographed a model and emphasized their neck. So I want you to see here how I'm emphasizing the length of her neck. That's really the goal, and something that's comparable to how you shot your subject. Let me find this beauty shot. Here we go. For me, this is the pose. If you want to have a bit of a head angle, but look at this giraffe neck. I literally, it's you pull her and you pull her head up so she's extended, and look at all the lines in her jawline and how everything is very smooth. So I want you to notice that. Oops, let me just find the, here we go. So you see here, the neck now, that's what I'm looking at, is I'm looking at all of these lines because she's wrenching herself around. The light is amazing. The idea, Jennifer, is so close to being there. It's so close to being there. I just want to see what else you did with her. I want to see other poses. I know that you said that this was an exercise in you using gels, but then decided that you like this better in black and white. You understand, when you use gels, you're actually filtering for black and white, and a red gel makes skin a little whiter, and there's all of these different things that you can do with gels and black and white. I want to see this close up because I think it's important to see what your skin looks like. I want you to watch your retouching. I can see that you blurred here. Please don't use the blur tool. I've said this a couple of times. The blur tool is over. O-V-E-R. Do not use blur. It is not how we retouch. And I can also see, Jennifer, that you blurred her whole forehead. I can see you literally blurred here, blurred all here. And that's what you're calling skin retouching, and blurred down here too, because I can see what her skin looks like if you hadn't have blurred it, by going right here and seeing exactly where the blur ends, which is right here. Yes or yes, right? So there's a reason we don't use the blur tool. And I can also see here where you were blurring and you decided to go over top of her eyebrow. I can see it here as well. So and also, here, I see the blur here. So this is just what I'd rather is we help you pick the best shot from You used, got it, Marco. Thanks. This is, I want you to pick your favorite from this session and then send that picture to a retoucher. Do that for me. Spend the $8 it costs to have a photo retouched by my retoucher, and you'll see the absolute difference. And again, this is like, my retoucher's in Dubai, but he's doing like super high fashion retouching. Like he's really, really good. So again, you'll see, I recommended this to Liza, changed Liza's life because her retouching looked like yours. So, that is my 2 cents. I think it's a banger. I think it has potential. I think this session has potential. Yeah, I just want to see a different pose because for me, this isn't the pose. I'm not sure, like when you want to shoot a subject, the first thing you're going to think is like, okay, turn around. And then they're like over here. And then now look back at me. Like, it's super awkward. Do you know what I mean? And I know like she's not all the way turned, but she's 3/4. So it is definitely, yes, a nice shot, Jennifer, but this isn't what we're looking for. We're not looking for nice shots. We're not looking for breaking each other, like breaking our arms to pat each other on the back. I'm trying to make you an assassin with your photography. And for me, my perspective, the pose is not it. I want to see another pose from this session. That is Jennifer Grace. Well done, Jennifer. Are you with me? Are you feeling the vibes? I see the matrix. I see things in your photos that you're not going to see. It's just simple. All right. Our next shooter is Rafael Ortiz. On January 12th, an agency came in to update an actor's headshot. I thought this would be the best time to follow Steve's advice. I used strobes, a light meter, and a prime lens. What I didn't use is a super high shutter speed, a wide open f-stop, and in Lightroom, no LUTs, no filters, no sharpening, texture, or clarity. Shot in studio tethered with review screen. D850, 50 millimeter 1.4, ISO 200, 1250 a second at f5. 2 strobes, 2 55-inch softboxes. One camera right and one above with grid. This is Rafael Ortiz. Rafael! Well, look at you being a photographer. You're onto something, my guy here. This is so clean. So clean. You've already you've pre-cropped this to a 4x5 format. So you've already pre-cropped this to magazine format. Let me show you this as a cover. He sits a little high in the masthead for me as a cover, but it still would work if it had to. So I like that. I'm giving you love. Let's look at this. Well, you've already made this a 4x5. So if I take this 4x5 frame and just drag it, you can already see he's made this already, cropped this to 8x10. So this is well done. I'm on it. I feel like, Raphael, this is the beginning of something. What I do need to see is what your skin retouching looks like. Because I have a feeling that... yeah, it looks like, just make sure you're not using blur tool. Make sure you're not using blur tool. You also, if you're going this far, Raphael, if you're going this far, like this kid doesn't need skin retouching. So make sure you're not making his skin look like unrealistically smooth, which is starting to get to that point. But come in here and like get rid of this dot right here. Get rid of this dot right here. Take the threads away from here and the threads away from here. Like, if you're going this far, you have to scan your pictures at this level. I can see dot here. I can see fabric here, a little white spot here, some dust over here, lint here. Like, go in then this tight and take away all of these little flecks of dust There's spots under here. Just do that. Look at his pants. Now that I'm on his pants, I'm seeing like literally what shows up worse than dust on black. Like, look here. Like, this is now, like, when we're at this level, you're now getting into my level. So now you have to take it to the finish line. Do you think that you're going to shoot for Levi's kids and then deliver finals to Levi's that have like lint on the pants? Well, no, you would fix that. Well, then guess what? You fix it for me as well, because I'm setting a standard and I'm trying to help you set a standard, a new standard. All right. So all things point to this photo for me is a yes. All things point to yes for me, Raphael. This is a yes. I want you to literally, this piece of dust though, right here, I can see that piece of dust from that far away. This piece of dust, when I'm looking at it this big, I still see that dust. So there's no excuse for you to not take that stuff away. He is a little overposed, like actor posed. I would undo him a little bit and make him feel a little bit more like a kid and not like he's trying too hard to be cool guy, because he naturally is a cool kid. So just watch how far you go with the poses. This is Rafael Ortiz. This is one of your best pictures that I've seen you do, my guy. Well done, Rafael. Well done. Well done. Rafael Ortiz. Well done, guy. Good shit. All right. This is Anton Dudis. Anton says, hey, Carty, let me take you to the Langkawi Sky Bridge in Malaysia. What I particularly like about this shot is the moment when a boyfriend puts on his girlfriend's hat while taking pictures of her. Such a common yet funny moment these days. Enjoy. Sony A6600 with a Sigma 18 to 50, ISO 100 at 500th of a second at f2.8. This is Anton Dudis. Anton. For me, this is like the moment that you felt in here is different because you were in it. For me, from this side, like, I can't tell whether you're putting this hat on as a joke or that's just whoever the photographer is, that's just their hat. Do you know what I mean? So to me, it just looks like, and also I can't tell if this is a guy or a girl. It could be a girl with super short hair. So the joke and all of that idea that you built up in your narrative, I don't feel that from this photo. Like, I don't get all the stuff that you're talking about. Let's look at that first as a cover. For me, this photo, imagine without the narrative, has to stand alone. Without the narrative, without the, oh, the boyfriend grabbed the girlfriend's hat and put it on and bahaha and then took this pic. Like, yeah, all of that stuff doesn't, like, it doesn't translate. All I'm seeing is just a photo of what could be a very masculine female or a guy with very strange style taking a picture of someone else, and then you're taking a picture of someone else taking a picture. So I definitely see it as like a travel editorial idea, but I also know your other work, and because I know your other work, this is not at the level that your other work is at. So for me, like, I've seen your work, Anton. Your work is way up here. And what I don't ever want to do is allow work that maybe isn't at the same level as your other work. I don't want you to be trying to use wordsmithing to make it appear to you like they're at the same level. For me, this isn't at the same level. It's not at the same level with light, and it's not at the same level with idea. And all I see is this thread on the back of this guy's head. This is all I see is this thread, which is hella distracting, and the way that this extra piece of blue fabric back there is. So for me, this is like, again, Don't hold on to photos with an emotional attachment. When you have an emotional attachment to your photography, then you find yourself like making excuses for pictures that are less than par. For me, this is not at your level. Your level is way higher, Anton. I've seen your work. This would be a picture that if I was doing a portfolio review with you, it might not make it in. Because for me, it's not telling enough of a story. I hope that helps you. And again, even if it is telling a bit of a story, that story, it's something that we all see too often. We all see people taking pictures of other people too often. So it just makes it not interesting enough for you to catch as a frame, unless it's in a scene that is so bananas that it warrants it. But this isn't that scene. And you have those scenes in your book. I hope that helps you. That is Anton Dudis. Anton. You guys having a good time? Enjoying your vibes with me so far? I hope so. Are you a photographer ready to go pro? Or maybe you're a working photographer struggling to sustain your business? My coaching programs are designed to meet you where you are and give you the guidance needed to move your needle forward. Whether you're looking for a focused 1-hour session to fix a specific challenge, or you need the type of ongoing support that 6 1-hour time slots would give you, I'm here to help you master the systems and build a career that you've been aiming for. By the way, if you book me for one of my ongoing coaching sessions, you pay for 5 sessions and you get 6. With over 34 years of professional experience, I guide you through the key aspects of creating a thriving photography business. Whether that's building a standout portfolio or sharpening your brand, or even setting up systems that bring in clients consistently. First of all, I give you flexible coaching options. Choose a single 1-hour session to get some quick insights, or you can commit to 6 sessions for a full transformation. I can even walk you through my proven systems one-on-one. Whether you're looking to break into the industry or you're struggling to keep your business afloat, these sessions are personalized to focus on what will actually move the needle for you. You're going to get real-time expert guidance, and believe me, there is no one-size-fits-all advice. You're going to get actionable insights and hands-on support to address your unique challenges and unlock your full potential. You don't have to do this alone, eh? Let's work together to take your photography career to the next level. Whether that means finally going pro or creating a thriving, sustainable photography business. Visit thecardymethod.com/coaching to book your session today. Let's get to work. Let's get to work, people. All right, let's get into our next shooter, which is Marcus Mack. Marcus says this is a dance major, shot recently in an old dance studio. Though I thought I'd use the wooden floor, I don't think I should have. I have other shots, but waist up. You can imagine the crop. Canon R3 with a 50mm 1.8, ISO 200, 50mm 1.8, ISO 200, 1/60th of a second at f4. This is Marcus Mack. Marcus. Marcus, I like this vibe. I like the confidence in this kid. I really do like the confidence in the feeling here. You're a little high in the frame. This frame is claustrophobic. Like, look at this as a cover, right? It's like, it's cool as a cover, but one thing you didn't do is consider this as an 8x10. Because now look at this as, look at this now as an 8x10. We've talked about this, Marcus. You know you have to lock in a different crop when you're shooting vertical pictures because of how they now look when it goes to Instagram. So now when this goes to Instagram, you know you're not seeing his feet at all. So essentially this becomes a whole different picture because you lose an inch in the top of the bottom. Our camera shoots 2x3. Instagram is 4x5. So that is a different perspective. 4x5 is 8x10. And you can see by my frame here, you lose an inch on the top and on the bottom when it now crops down. So here you're losing his feet because you shot it in such a way that you framed it in the 8x12 frame. Like, this is my locked off final picture. And you missed the boat, because you can see here now that this is 2 pictures. It's going to be the full picture that you show on your website, but then the picture minus the feet that you show on Instagram. So it's a small thing. This is a little claustrophobically close. You can see the way his leg is coming out so far towards the frame. You counter that by having him put this leg out a little bit and this rotate forward just a little bit. You back up, so you're giving him more top and bottom space, and then you just take this seamless and roll it out and then put the stool back on top of it, which now gives you a perfect clean without having a floor there to look at and distract our attention. So lighting placement is good, although you can see where your nose shadow is dropping. You're not really committing to Rembrandt lighting, and you're not really committing to front light. You're committing to this in-between light, which is giving you this in-between shadow that's here, this nose shadow that doesn't know where to go. You know this nose shadow is supposed to join this shadow here and give you like now this perfect pocket of light and give you like Rembrandt light. But, or you light him from the front and you get front light with him. But you're kind of in between, which now you can look, if you you have 2 different faces. You have this face, which is quite soft, but then you have this face, which is quite scary. So you kind of like, you have to choose which way you're going. Are you going dramatic, or are you going frontal, like butterfly lighting? You're right now like sitting on the fence in between both, which gives us this like this in between light. Secret sauce, just if you're watching at home, the nose shadow needs to, if it's front light, it falls down here, and it shouldn't fall further than halfway between the lip and the tip of the nose. Halfway. That's for front light. And then what happens when you do front light is you get shaping like here, like you're having on this side right now. It hollows out the face. So it makes faces that are wider feel narrow. This is how you light women, because it makes them look like models. When you're lighting a guy, you can light a guy any way, but you have to commit to a style of light, and this placement is an in-between style. And that, like with his head angle and the light placement here, it only works if his face is not straight, if his face is turned that way. Because if he turns his face and his nose off this axis, then it creates the Rembrandt light. So these are all small details, but for you who are in my accelerator, and Marcus, you're in my accelerator, I'm trying to take you to that level where you see these small nuances. I know you're 22 years old, my guy. Like when you're in it, it's off the, oh my God, it's easy to like just get overwhelmed and excited and forget those like fundamentals. But when you're in it, that's the time when you actually have to think about the fundamentals even before the idea. Make sure the fundamentals are locked, and then you can explore that idea within your fundamentals. This is a really, really good effort, my man, Marcus Mack. I'm giving you an 11. I just want you to watch all of those things. That's a strange answer. Oh, as you can see right now in chat, I've released a new little toy for you guys to play with, which is the Magic 8 Ball. The Magic 8 Ball is great. All you need to do with the Magic 8 Ball is actually do what Garan just did. Just 8 ball and then ask a question. And the Magic 8 Ball is going to give you an answer. All right, let's get back into our submissions. Our next submitter is Joshua Haney. Joshua says, photo shoot with an international businessman downtown for updated headshots last year. Shot with the R6 85mm f2, ISO 100, 1/100th of a second at f2. He said, oops. Natural light, open shade. This is Joshua Haney. Joshua. This is a vibe, Joshua. This is a vibe for sure. This is definitely a vibe. Let's look at the framing here. I mean, for me, his body language is a little twisted. I really like, I see the top down. His shoulders going this way. I really wish his shoulders were going this way, because then now it's like, I know you were kind of trying to run with the leading line, but for me, it makes this feel less intentional. It makes it feel like he's walking by and then looked and you snapped a picture at him. For me, this exact scene, and I'm hoping that you have this frame. I think if you square it up, I think that this picture would actually like even model and shape his face a little bit more. Now, as far as your contrast is making his skin tone like the same tone as the suit almost. So for me, I need his skin tone to be a different tone than here. And also his shirt, which is a white shirt, is reading like a little gray. So if you look at this, his black hair is reading gray, his brown skin is reading gray, his suit is reading gray, and even the white, especially in this part of the collar, is also reading gray. So that means it's like a low contrast-y image. So for me, I want to see a different frame. I want to see a frame maybe where he's squared up looking at camera, and then I'd love you to nail the contrast. I want you to I want you to see what this looks like as how we're going to call this, a 4x5 or an 8x10. So this is this as an 8x10, Joshua, which for me, again, you can see it just looks odd with his back shoulder up. It wants to be like, it's just dynamically, visually odd to see him with his body in this language, is what I'm trying to say. I need to see him squared up because, again, it's kind of that, but then also top down. There's too many angles. So for me, too many angles, and it's gray. I want you guys to all look and notice that you see gray before you see white or black. There is no defined white. There's no defined black. There are variations of gray. So we have to really make sure that we're nailing the contrast. I'd also be interested in seeing what this picture looks like in color. Guys, this is Joshua Haney. Joshua, I want to see a different edit of this picture. Show me a different edit of this picture and just chatting. I'd love to see. Not a different pose from this picture. That is what I'm hoping for. The 8-ball says Mike's pretty much going to have to go back to work. That's funny. That was Joshua Haney, my friends. This is Anna Kaya. Anna says, Anna is our 2024 Photographer of the Year. Anna says, this image is from a recent headshot session with a young actor. Thank you for your feedback. Nikon D780 with a 50mm, ISO 160, 1/60th of a second at 5.6. Shot with Studio strobes. Studio strobes. This is Anna Kaya. Anna, this is a vibe, Anna. This is a vibe. I mean, the first thing that I see is you have like this knee tucked and this knee cut. You have this in the frame and you have this side cut. So, I mean, yes, this is framed up beautifully and it's such a vibe. Like, she's so confident. I love the ballet slippers, but the way that you're framing her on the box, it's like, just frame her properly. Like, just square it up. Like, make sure that that part is squared up because we see it. We notice it. Let's see this as a cover. You can see very, very competent, very great cover. But again, I want you to notice like that knee, this will start to bother you. This should bother you. And down here should bother you. And everybody who's looking, it's necessary for you to be finding the isms within your own photography so you can correct them. Idea. You are so off the charts with the idea. It's very, very, very good with the idea. So that brings me joy. The next thing is just how clean the light is and how clean the focus is. if we look at this up close, just really clean. It's unpretentious. Like, and the exposure is like maybe could come down like 10%. That's really only 1/10 of a stop. Like, bring the exposure down 10%. Like, it's but again, you could leave it right there and it'd be fine, you know? Next is her shirt. Just make sure you come in here and clean up all the dusties and stuff like this that shows up on black t-shirts. Because again, if I can see it in your file, your client can see it. And you want your standards to be way higher than your client standards. Your standards have to be the highest in the room always. So make sure you're going in here and getting this kind of dust and just making sure that, you know, take the marks off the tights and the dust off the tight. Like, just do that. So when they get that final delivery, it just is tight like a tiger. But this is an amazing effort, Anna. I like it. I'm giving you an 11 on this picture. I want you to watch the two things that upset me the most, which if the two things, Anna, that upset me the most is just this knee and this space right here, you're doing okay. Seriously, because the black on black, the black on gray, everything else is really out of this world. Well done. Taylor, what do you think? Yeah, she likes it too. All right. So, well done. That is Anna Kaya. Anna, well done. This is Salim El Madani. Salim says, hey, pros, this is part of my new portfolio style where I aim at fashion editorial portfolio. This year's Q1 is geared towards creating this new dark beauty / fashion portfolio so that I can have that PDF to send to brands. This was created with the help of a very talented makeup artist, Lawrence, and retouched by Suhail. Suhail is getting a lot of retouching work from my crew. I told him that would happen. Mike, you'll see your review tonight when you come home. All right, this is Salim El Madani and retouching by Suhail. Salim, let's get it on. Look at you leveling up your shit, Salim. Look at you leveling up your stuff. Very good. Very good. Let's look at this close up. I want to see the focus. I want you, like, the color balance is a little off. You can see how the color balance is a little yellowy. You can see, like, the color balance is off just a bit. And the saturation is off just a bit. But you're onto something. You're onto something. I want you to be continuing to work with new makeup artists. This makeup artist went a little far with the like 80s style of like eyeshadow. This is very 80s. I'm not sure if 80s is what you were looking for, but it's very 80s. Makeup artists have a tendency to want to paint makeup on faces. As photographers, it is our goal and role to like pull them back if they're going too far, because so often makeup artists go too far. For me on this image, Salim, the color balance, it's like the saturation. Just want to show you this at 100% again. The saturation is bordering on a little bit extra, so you could pull this back a lot. I'm not sure if you're doing the processing or if Suhail's doing the processing. When I give my files to Suhail, I give him the raw files. I let him process them, and then it's like, if like I've done it both ways. I've processed them and given them to him, and if he did the processing, then you need to tell him like the saturation he's pushing up to, like, you need to set a standard. You need to set a standard. Salim says that he had a bit of a hiccup during this shoot. So yeah, just fill me in. All right. But overall, Salim, this is definitely a level up for you. This is definitely a level up for you, for sure. I want to show you this as a cover. And did you pre-crop this? No, this is, yeah, you made this, I think you made this 8x10 or a 9x12. That's it as a magazine cover. Let's look at this as an 8x10 to see. Is it cropped to 8x10, Suhail? Did you pre-crop this? No, it's not exact. You see, you kind of cropped this. I think maybe you did 9x12, maybe. But even still, I like this. The vibe is good. The vibe is good. Suhail, on this picture, I'm giving you love. I'm giving you an 11 out of 10 on this picture. One of your best. I would love to see other poses. I don't love her hands through her hair. I just don't love it. And again, the legs crossed. I just want a more bold, confident pose with her. I'm coughing 1 second. I need a bit more of a bold, confident pose with her. I'd love to see what other poses you have. What I am going to give you love for is the exposure here, where we're seeing the jacket, but then also the black bodysuit and the patent, and seeing that separation. All dope. I just feel like her legs crossed over like this. We're just losing so much of this vibe. What I would do is have her legs open, but have her leaning in such a way that her hands cover her parts. So you're like, oh my God, move her hands. So that's kind of like, that's how I would pose her. The hands through the hair. No. That's just, again, it's so 80s. Run your hands through your hair. It's like, yeah, that's just a pose that's just not very right now. So for me, the arms, the legs closed, and also hands up like this never makes a blazer look good. When a girl has a blazer on, it has structured shoulders. So then when you move it up, it just jams all of this stuff up. So again, you just don't have a girl have her arms up especially when she's wearing a blazer. But for me, mostly never. I hope that helps you, Salim. You still killed it. I'm still giving you an 11 on this picture, my guy. But I do want to see other edits. All right. Let's see Liza Hyder. Liza says, Taylor with the Numa Agency Network. The Numa Network Agency, Vancouver, BC. Nikon D850, Sigma 135. Don't you love the 135, Liza? I love that lens. And funny enough, 135 is the longest focal length I have right now, because I gave my 70 to 200 L series to my brother. I gave my brother my 70 to 200 L series. So I'm like primes only, like literally. I go 16, 50, 85, 100, 135. I have two 16 millimeter lenses. I don't really shoot with them. I just use them for here. These are both 16. Does that look like a 16 millimeter lens? Crazy, right? It looks pretty normal, but that's a 16 millimeter lens. And how you can tell is like my arm's reach, I can touch this camera. So it's not as far away as you think. And then this camera here is also arm's length away, this one. So yeah, I love primes. Primes. You couldn't live without your 7200. That means that you haven't shot with enough other lenses to know what you're missing. How about that? Cap 2 red. You don't know what you're missing. That's why you couldn't live without your 7200. All right. Liza Hyder, Nikon D850, Sigma 135, ISO 200, 1/2000th of a second, 1.8. How are you shooting at 1.8 with a 135? I don't think you have a 135 1.8, Liza. I don't believe your settings right here. I don't think this is what shot at 1.8. This is Liza Hyder. Liza, I love this feeling. Love. It's too contrasty. This is now the exact opposite of Joshua's picture. This has too much contrast. Like you've gone too far, and it's like it's too white and black and not enough gray. I'm going to show you some hints. This girl has blue eyes, but look, this is a black eye. Like there's no color in her eyes at all. This is a blue eye. I can tell by these little streaks here, or a hazel eye, but you can't see it because her pupil is so dark. We're going right into jet black in these shadow details where I should be able to see some hair. Jet black into the shadow details here. So for me, I love this photo, but even if you look at what's happening down here in just regular skin tone, you're seeing dark patches and light patches here. It's like that's too much contrast happening in just an area that's supposed to be a single tone. So for me, this is number one, too contrasty. If your contrast slider is going past 10, you're likely using too much contrast. Like literally my contrast, I go like this. Like, I don't think I go past 7. Like literally, sometimes 5, sometimes 0. I don't change my contrast at all. And also in camera, this is another thing. In camera, you have like these 3 sliders. One is saturation, one is sharpness, and one is contrast. As far as your camera default settings, okay? Make sure your camera's default saturation, sharpness, and contrast are all at 0. Because if they're not at 0, you're baking in a LUT into your raw file, which makes it a lot harder to adjust contrast, sharpness, and saturation in Lightroom or Capture One. It makes it very hard to do it there if you're doing it in camera. And then any adjustments that you're making in Lightroom are actually adding more contrast on top of the contrast settings that you have built in to the back of your camera that says sharpness, saturation, contrast, which should all be at 0 always. Don't let them be like, oh, well, I have my sharp, because I like sharp pictures, so I set my sharpness at 5 and my saturation at 5 and like my whatever the other one was, saturation, blah, blah, blah. So don't do that. Don't do that. Make sure that that's all neutral so you can control that in post. I love this girl, Liza. What a great model. Please shoot her again. And what a great shot. Please show me more. I want to show you this as a cover. It absolutely smashes. I love it, Liza. I'm giving you love here. This is, for me, an 11. It's exceptional. I do want to see a different edit because I don't want you to submit the same picture, but I'd love to see a different edit with a little bit of a different processing. Reduce that contrast a little. You can see for an 8x10, we either crop it like this and lose the cleavage, or we crop it like this and get the cleavage but lose a little bit of the top of her head. So for me, that's the one that I would do. I'd take the cleavage and lose a bit of the top of her head. Guys, that is the mighty and talented Liza Hyder. I'm giving you an 11 on that one, Liza. Very, 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 very well done. Very well done. Taylor, very well done. All right, that's Liza Hyder. Liza, well done. This is Ammon Thompson. Ammon says, this is part of my high school senior headshot series, shot on location with my portable studio setup, tethered with a review screen. Fuji X-T5, 27mm 1.2, ISO 125, 1/250th of a second. 1/250th of a second. Hello. 1/250th of a second at ISO 125 at 7.1. All right, this is the mighty Ammon Thompson. Ammon, I love this photo. Love. What I want you to notice quickly is this is 100% black. This is not 100% black. So you need to figure out a way to process this. So this is black. So between here and here is seamless. So that is, and you can also see that this is a black t-shirt, but when you see this black t-shirt next to actual black, you see the difference. So for me, the only issue here is the exposure. The exposure here is right, but the exposure back here is not. Now, I know you're using a pop-up background that doesn't read quite as black as you would hope for it to be. So there is some stuff that you can do in post to make this read a little blacker. You need to play around with that so to figure out what it is, so you can repeat this set and make sure that you have a super jet black background. But this is a 100% book picture. This is a 11 out of 10. I much prefer this guy in your portfolio to the last lady with the pencil brows that you included in your submission. This one you can use for your book for sure. I like this guy. He's very likable, and he's handsome. He's got a good smile, cool hair, good look, cool hat. He's got good vibes. This is a guy that you put in your book. Good shit. Are you confused? You having a good time with me? Enjoying your darn self? Enjoying yourself? I hope so. Ready to take your photography business to the next level? I've created 3 powerful tools designed to make an immediate impact on your workflow, your client outreach, and your daily habits. These resources will help you work smarter, grow faster, and feel more confident in building your career. You'll find links to all 3 under tools at thecartymethod.com. If you're struggling to find clients, my Cold Outreach Master Pack has everything that you need to land new business. It includes 18 proven email templates and a step-by-step guide for writing emails that get opened and generate real responses. If you're ready to take your client hunting strategy up a notch, this pack gives you clear, effective blueprints to start getting results. Consistency builds success. My professional photographer habit tracker is your daily accountability tracker. It helps you build the habits that matter most to running a successful photography business. Track your progress, set meaningful goals, and stay focused on what moves the needle. If you're serious about making steady progress, this tracker is a game changer. Shoots can get chaotic. Stay organized. My Ultimate Photographer's Call Sheet is your one-stop solution for planning and managing every detail of your shoots. From client communication and location info to equipment checklists and timelines, this tool helps you stay on top of it all. With my call sheet, you'll run your shoots like a seasoned pro, no matter how big or small the project. This is the call sheet that clients will remember forever. These tools are built for photographers who are serious about their craft and ready to streamline their businesses, connect with clients, and build professional habits that last. You can find them all under tools at thecartymethod.com. Let's start transforming your business today. Are you ready for Michael Steinmetz? I definitely am. This is a rice and storage processing plant near Tyronza, Arkansas? Tyronza? You from Tyronza? Are you from Tyronza? You two look like you from Tyronza. From Tyronza, Arkansas. Considering this for a print or just for my portfolio as an example. Shout out to R8 98 millimeter. Shot with E70 to 200 f4 at 98 millimeter. ISO 130 seconds, meaning 30 seconds, 30 full second exposure at f11. This is the mighty Michael Steinmetz. Mike, this is killer. Like it. This is great. Let's look at this as a double. Mike, this is textbook. I could complain a little bit about the fact that this comes over that other double page, and maybe the lines aren't quite as straight here. But your baseline down here is hella straight. I love how you drop the horizon line really low. Mike, it's like, the way that I'll say it, it's as if you've heard everything that I've said over the last year. It's like you've heard every single thing I've said over the last year and delivered it into this picture. Would it be better if these cars weren't here? Sure. You know, these cars, sure. But for me, it's not enough of a detractor to stop me from loving this photo. Obviously, you're getting a little bit of overexposure in here of your light sources because this is a long exposure. So where there's a bright source, it does have a tendency to get overexposed. But I love how you use car lights or something like this to kick in on the dead end sign. This gives me joy, Mike. This is an 11, unequivocally. This is an 11. This, again, like, you're an incredibly talented shooter when I challenge you the way that I do now. And you really have had, you've had the time to grow this year as a content creator, as a shooter, as a storyteller. And the things that you're interested in it's starting to meet, for me, it's really starting to unify is a good way to describe it. It's really starting to unify for me now with you. Very, very, very well done. By the way, when you show my heart rate, you see the lights go a different color and they start to pulse. You should also hear my heart rate in your ear. It's quite low, but here, maybe I'll turn it up. Yeah, that's a bit better. So yeah, when you do, when you play my heart rate, it shows that is my actual heart rate, by the way. That's my heart rate right now. All right, our next shooter is Sean Thomas. Sean says, and by the way, our last photo of the day is Sean Thomas. Sean says, hey Carty, hey crew, I hope all is well. First consideration for a new personal project called Bay After Bay. Taking my versions of portraits of engine bays. Taking my version of portraits of engine bays. Bay After Bay. Clever. EOS R with a Tamron 24-70 at 40. ISO 100/160th of a second at 5.6. Natural light outside. This is the mighty Sean Thomas. Sean. Bays for days. Sean, this is a cool angle. I'm still not sure about the side angle. I'm wondering if bays for days, I'm wondering if it should be the front grille of the car, and then the engine. Like, I'm wondering if it should be like this with the hood up, and then you're seeing the engine like in here. Right now you're skimming it, like you're coming in on that angle rather than coming in on that angle. Tonally it's cool, but it's just, I don't know if I like missing that corner. I don't know if I like missing the bumper, the logo of the front of the car, the logo of the front of the car, the logo of the front. I know, yes, you see that logo there, but I'm missing, like, the headlights tells us so much about the stance of the car. Is there a way to show that and the bay? Or do you do this top-down angle, but you just come in from the front and you crop it in such a way that makes it very square? Like, I would love to see it almost as a flat lay. Does that make sense? Like, see it as a flat lay, almost like as top down as you can, like to the point where you'd have to take the hood off to give you that really top down. I'm V-dub all day. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about, V-dub? What are you talking about? I'm V-dub all day. You see that? I guess. Maybe. Can you see my key? My key! It's a VW. It's a VW. Can you see that? No? I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, so this is my angle. I think that you are onto something. This is a very clean engine bay. I'm questioning the angle. I want you to rewind this and keep playing until you nail a perspective that you can repeat every single time, and it wins every single time. I hope you own 3 V-dubs up, Chuck. Let's go, baby. Yeah, I've had to. I just choose not to own them. I'll get new ones and lease them. All right, this is my 2 cents. You are onto something, so I love it. I'm giving you an 11 because it is a new self-directed project. I want you to work your angle. I know this is an older shot. I want you to just work the angle until you actually get that perfect engine bay perspective that you can rinse and repeat with multiple clients. Guys, that is our last image of the day. That is Sean Thomas. Yay! Sean, well done, my guy. Well done. We have some photos of the week and best in show to look at. I'm very excited about doing this. I always love looking at photo of the weeks and giving photos of the week. As always, you know, this time around, this is a new year. It being a new year means I have to be way more when it comes to like yes or no. There's no wishy-washy on the fence. The pictures that win photos of the week are pictures that without any fixes will get you work and should go in your portfolio without question. That like only working work gets photos of the week now. So I am giving photos of the week to work that works, starting with our first photographer winning photo of the week, Dana McKenzie. Dana, photo of the week. Welcome back, my guy. Congratulations. This hits. This hits. This hits. This hits. What do you think, Taylor? Taylor agrees. Well done. That is Dana McKenzie. First photo of the week. Next photo of the week. This is Jennifer Grace. Jennifer, hard on you. Don't get it twisted. I'm hard on you because you're about to be in my accelerator. So I have to be. I want to see another edit, but I'm giving you love because there is something very special inside this photo. Very good. Jennifer Grace, photo of the week. Did I give you this? Did you get the seal? Good shit, Jennifer. Jennifer Grace. Photo of the week. Photo of the week. Rafael Ortiz. Rafael. Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good, Rafael. Well done. Photo of the week. Rafael Ortiz. Next photo of the week. Photo of the week. Marcus Mack. Marcus. Well done, Marcus. Marcus Mack. Photo of the week. Marcus. Our next photo of the week winner goes to Anna Kaya. Anna, this photo, very clean, very usable, very much a portfolio picture from Anna Kaya. Very well done, Anna. Photo of the week. Photos of the week. Our next photo of the week. Haven't had a photo of the week from this guy in a minute. Congratulations, Salim El Madani. Salim, you're onto something here, my guy. You know I want to see more shots from this edit. You're onto something. You're onto something. You're leveling up. You've been with me for a good part of the year in this accelerator. I'm proud of you. Salim El Madani. Our next photo of the week goes to Liza Hyder. Liza. Well done, Liza. Love, 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 love. And by the way, I'm doing all these pictures by heart. I'm meaning the photographer's names by heart, because if you make work that has impact, I remember you. I remember you. I remember your work. I remember your style. I remember the photo that you submit. I remember your name. The next photo of the week goes to Amond Thompson. Amond. Well done, buddy. Love, 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 love. Photo of the week, buddy. Love. Amond Thompson. Congratulations. Very well done. And our last and final photo of the week goes to Mike Steinmetz. Mikey. Well done, Mike. Photo of the week. Well done. These are the photos that I believe that as is right now can go into a portfolio with not much anything else except for more of the same. Now, am I going to give a best in show today? Is there one photo that stood out beyond all the rest that deserves best in show? Yeah. I have yeah, guys, best in show number 1, Dana McKenzie. Dana, congratulations, best in show. This is very, very, very tight. Dana McKenzie, congratulations. Ooh. I have one other photographer that is getting best in show. And that photographer who is taking home best in show this week is Liza Hyder. Liza, congratulations, best in show. Very, very, very proud of you. If you submitted this week, whether you won or not, you're winning by crushing the consistency. You have to understand how hard it is to be a professional photographer. People think that it's just picking up a camera and pointing it at shit you see and like, Zupchuck, don't talk, do. When you don't talk about things you're going to do, talk about things after you've done them. It's way cooler. Just join my submissions without saying you're going to do it. Just do it. There's nothing that I hate more than this. I hate it. And sadly, nobody does more of this than photographers. I'm a man of action. What you could do is just join and throw a photo, and then I'm reviewing your photo, and then you can say, hey, I submitted a photo. That's something to brag about. When's soon? I just did a whole episode Sunday on create deadlines for yourself and don't be that wishy-washy guy that talks shit. Just don't do that. Just don't say anything. Don't talk. Just do. Talk about the shit after you've done it. It's like, I'm going to write a book. It's like, when? Well, someday. It's like, well, fuck. Obviously, we're all going to do something someday. It's way cooler when you do something and then say, hey, guess what? I have a book. I've written a book. So Salim is asking, do you get the assignment 2 days early this year? Salim, it's like you're inside my brain. All right, my guy. I have, first of all, to remind you, Thursday, as in 2 days from now, is a self-portrait assignment, okay? You have literally 24 hours, 36 hours to finish a self-portrait assignment and get it in for Thursday. 2025 is going to be the year, eh? So this is not next week's assignment. This is the current assignment, a self-portrait that you can use in your outward reach campaigns, your profile pics, and your websites. Make it tell a story, make it be professional, make it be sick, make it how the world sees you. One photo, vertical for your self-portrait, 4,000 pixels wide, 100 dpi, no mobile uploads, no weapons, no blood, no violence, due Wednesday. That is tomorrow at midnight. Okay, that is the assignment I gave you last week. I'm telling you again. This week's assignment that you shoot this week and submit next week, Wednesday, this is the first or the second assignment in this new assignment, assignment system, okay? What was my podcast on Sunday? Creativity loves a deadline. What was my blog post on Saturday? Creativity loves a deadline. What did I talk about on Sunday? I talked about the world's most short brief, the best brief ever given. Nike's Just Do It. So your assignment for Thursday January the 23rd, which is due on Wednesday, January the 22nd at midnight or by midnight. This is the brief. You are doing a Nike advertising photo assignment, okay? Nike's preparing for their next campaign, and they require a lead image that embodies the brand's Just Do It campaign and Just Do It spirit, okay? The final image should feel aspirational while also remaining authentic to the spirit of sport and athletic movement. I want you to be thinking about magazine covers, billboard, okay? And double page spread layouts. And billboards mean you can do a center focused horizontal if you say this is for a billboard, okay? If you're a people photographer, I want you to capture athletes or everyday people in dynamic motion, but you got to show the brand. You got to show the Nike brand and ensure that the apparel suits your photo's message. And that means anything from Nike that you can use that has the logo that you could attach to the moniker, Just Do It. If you shoot places, I want you to document urban training environments or iconic sports venues. I want you to think about like a place that someone would just do it. I want you to include the brand creatively, include the product creatively within the place. If you are a photographer who shoots places, and if you shoot things, showcase a Nike product in authentic action scenario. Like, this is the coolest assignment that I've given ever. You are shooting an ad for Nike. That might mean you have to buy a pair of Nike shoes, shoot them, and return them. That might mean you need to buy a Nike hoodie or find someone or borrow a Nike. Like, I need a Nike logo in your submission. I need everybody to be on point with this. You do this image, you put this on your website, you put this on your social media, you tag Nike, and all of a sudden now Nike is looking at your work. This is how the assignments are going this year. We are leveling this shit so up that you're going to literally have to climb up to these assignments and actually do some work. So, Nike advertising photo assignment due on Wednesday, the 22nd of January at midnight. I hope you are ready for it. This isn't just a hero advertising image. This is the hero advertising image for the world's most popular brand.
This commercial-free live stream was brought to you by the members of this channel. If it wasn't for you, we'd have to fill up these live streams with ads that would just interrupt the flow. The members of this channel make commercial-free content during these live streams possible. Consider becoming a member for $5 a month today to gain access to secret live streams, live chats, and to show your support with that crown badge next to your name. Sharing is caring. If this content has brought you value today, share it, clip it, post it to your socials. Curating and sharing helpful content makes you an expert, even if the content you're sharing isn't yours. Be a curator and share this content with your network. If you're an emerging or struggling photographer that's trying to break free from your current 9-to-5 grind and transition to the life of a working pro photographer, that's our obsession here at the Carty Method. Register, get the support you need. If you're alone and struggling at this craft, make sure you join the Carty Method community. You'll always find help in the show notes. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Find your creative and business genius with the Carty Method.